hardest I've ever been punched.
He's fighting a guy who's crazy.
Derek,
He almost broke my neck, yeah, with the right hand over.
You want to learn how to train? Come see me.
Roughhousing and getting in close.
We were naked together in a Ukrainian sauna.
You're gonna die.
Right, we're back. New set, new fight. This is Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois 2. No glove lost, in partnership with 32 Red. The first time Usyk and Dubois clashed, we got low blows, high drama, and a very questionable stoppage. This time around, the stakes are even higher, so we've had to call in reinforcements. First up, he's number one on speed dial, while an Englishman needs a heavyweight southpaw sparring partner. He's also a major threat to Jack's modelling career. It's Agron Smakici.
Next up, a heavyweight on the charge, backed by the unstoppable Bosch army. It's the Romford Bull himself, Johnny Fisher.
Bosh.
He's my second favourite Del Boy, but my absolute favourite war. He was a British boxing bad boy, now he is a national treasure. Derek Chisora.
Bosh.
You've got to pay for the copyright every time you do it, you know.
Yeah, bosh.
Fellas, what was your reaction to this fight being made, especially when guys like Joseph Parker and Ajit Kabayel had gone on great runs and it seemed earned their shots ahead?
I don't think they did earn their shots ahead, did they? I think Daniel Dubois beat Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgovic and Anthony Joshua. So he's earned the right to be where he is now. Mm-hmm. And after the first fight, as you said, a bit of controversy. So it's a fight the British boxing public are interested in, which is a big pull in itself. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how the second one unfolds.
What about you fellas? Because Joe Parker was fighting Daniel. That was done in Saudi, and on the Thursday it was cancelled. So it does feel a bit like poor Joe Parker's been stitched up, or are you just happy that this is undisputed being decided?
Listen, this is why Tegi Sheikh is not really back in this fight, because he's a bit disappointed that I give you a show to Daniel in Riyadh, you pull out, and then 2 months later you announce your fight for undisputed with Alexander. So, listen, I think the Warrens, you know, Queensbury knew that with Joseph Parker it would have been a harder fight. You know, Joe is on a good run. You know, the way he's fighting, and then for him to fight Daniel, it was at that time was a mistake.
Yeah.
So what's easier is to get the undisputed in the United Kingdom. At the same time, the platform is set for Daniel to win this fight. Do you understand? Wembley, back garden, you know, 60,000 or 80,000, I think. It's gonna be a great show. I'm buzzing for Daniel. But at the same time, he's fighting a guy who's crazy. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, you know where Alexander is right now?
I think he's been in Spain in camp, but usually when he's not there, he's in his front room listening to missiles go over the ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that story you told us? So, you know, so you have to understand he's fighting a guy who's ready to go to war. And listen, good luck to both fighters, but I'm gonna be there ringside.
Agron, do you think the first fight between them was close enough to warrant a rematch?
I mean, with the low blow, it was he deserved the fight. As Johnny said, he had a great victories over Hrgovic, Joshua, Miller. So it's a good decision to fight against Oleksandr Usyk.
Derek, the last time we had this chat, we were naked together in a Ukrainian sauna. You were sitting on the phone to Oleksandr and you heard missiles going over his head. And you said to me, Wally, what chance do us English guys have of beating this dude? When the car alarm goes off in London, we run out to our car and this dude is sitting in his house listening to rockets.
Yeah, it's this is what I'm trying to explain to people. You have to go to the... How can I explain it to anybody at home?
You said to me, you just got to find someone who's more crazy than him.
Yeah, find more crazy, but is there anybody crazier than him right now? I don't know.
I think you're running pretty close, don't you?
Apart from me, you understand?
And you gave him probably his toughest fight.
So Daniel has to be more crazy, but Daniel, you see, we know he's gonna fade out because Usyk don't fade out. He keeps going, you know. He keeps going, you know. So it's just one of those things like you have to walk into the arena and just become a demon Do you understand? And just go with that. Don't even doubt yourself, just go with it.
Johnny, you're a history Bachelor of Arts. Do you believe that tangibly his country going through this makes him a better fighter? Like, all these guys can be great champions without war, but do you believe it's a tangible thing that is raising him up?
Well, as Derek said, if you've got missiles flying over your head, the man's a Ukrainian and his country's at war.
Yeah.
So that's going to have a big impact on how he views his fight and what he can do for his Ukrainian people.
Johnny, you've been in the camp with Daniel in his early pro career, and as recently you were telling me as the Jarrell Miller fight in 2023. So from the man outside the ring you first met to the most recent time you saw him, what's that development been like?
I think when we first met in 2021, me and Daniel got on pretty well. He doesn't say much. We know he's quite a quiet character, but you have seen a development over the 3 or 4 years that I've known him, and I think it's for the better because he's expressing himself a little bit more. I've liked the sort of cheeky comedic things that he's seeing at press conferences. His personality is coming out, and I think it's important for a fighter to express themselves and do that, no matter what their personality is, because the freer you are, I think the more damage you can do. And I think we've seen that with Daniel. Even the way his boxing skills have developed, moving off the line a little bit, and the way he came through that Jarrell Miller fight, I think that was a defining moment for him because there was a lot of pressure on him. It's a big 30 or 25, 26 stone man in front of him, and he's come through adversity. So I've seen a good development boxing-wise and as a personality, and I think they marry up quite well.
You hear stories about like Mike Tyson back in the day when people used to go and spar him, he'd just look across and wouldn't say anything and would try to take their head off.
Yeah.
Obviously Daniel's quite quiet, as you said. So when you walked into sparring, did he have that sort of air of presence, quite a bit intimidating where he didn't say much?
When you sparred Daniel, I think out of everyone I've sparred Derek, I've sparred Filip Hrgović, I've sparred Fury, that he wants to dismantle you the most out of anyone. He's not going in there for some people spar for tech or spar to work on certain things. He's trying to take you out, and I think that's his strength. And his strength is his ability to come forward, the punch power, the physical nature of him in the clinch. Right? He's got to use them strengths. And you can negate that. We've seen that in the first fight. Yes, it was a low blow, but somehow it's very hard to do it. Derek's probably the best example of someone doing it, roughhousing and getting in close and not thinking about where you're hitting, just going in there and biting down on the gum shield, and that takes mental strength, and that's probably a bit more valuable than talent is. It's the mentality.
Might sound like a silly question, but just how hard does Daniel punch?
Hardest I've ever been punched, by far.
And his jab's like a right hand, isn't it?
His jab is like a right hand. It hits you, and it's he's the hardest puncher. I've sparred a few of them, and it's only sparring as well. So you've got the 20-ounce gloves on, and you can see how he can put people's lights out as well when we've seen him with the 10 ounces on.
Agron, what have you experienced being in that camp? Because I understand, when he walked into the gym, I watched a session the other day, total silence, doesn't speak to anyone, doesn't say hello to his coaches, walks in and goes to work. But have you seen a little bit more of his personality when your spars have finished?
Yeah, the first sparring, I didn't see it so much. Yeah, he was just cold, waiting in the ring. We had a good rounds. After that, next week I came again. We did good sparring, and after that we spoke a little bit. He was very kind and very, very friendly.
Derek, what was your approach to sparring? When you would have sparring partners come to the gym, would you speak to him beforehand, or would it be just...
I speak to everybody.
Well, I know from speaking to Agron, he was telling, and this is the man who sparred everyone. You treat him better than all of the guys he's ever worked with. The best hotels, the best food. You really...
I speak to everybody. People want to come sparring. When people come I tell you what, when people come to in my camp, I want you to be so comfortable that when we spar, you're gonna give me what I need. Because there's no need of me putting you in a bad place, and then suddenly when you come to the gym, you're sad. Your vibe is not right. You know, my sparring partners or my training partners, they always come and we always have a good time. It's a good time. Even Johnny comes and we have a good time.
It's really good. My dad was down, and it doesn't take away from the work we do. It's always intense, good work. But before and after, I don't think you need to have any sort of animosity, because you know when you're getting in there with someone like Derek, he's going to give you it. So you don't need to fake it. You're going to get it.
It's all good. My sparring, I enjoy it.
Do you need me to come and do a bit with you soon?
Please do.
Agron, without getting too technical about it, but when you get the call from Anthony Joshua's team, Tyson Fury's team, Daniel Dubois' team, and you arrive, do they tell you to try and box like Usyk, or do you just go in and do what you do?
I always ask, do I need to box like Usyk?
Okay.
That's my first question.
And what do they usually say?
Joshua said, do whatever you want to do. Fury said also do whatever you want to do. But I box similar to Usyk. I like to move and use my jab, work the body. I like to wrestle a little bit more, but because of the knowledge of MMA. But yeah.
What a great position that is to be in, though, having sparred AJ, Fury, and Dubois. When you look back and say you shared the ring with all of them.
Exactly. Yeah, Wilder, Dylan White, all these guys. I want to thank Oleksandr Usyk and Zhilei Zhang, Otto Wallin for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because of them, I'm here where I am.
What do you pick up? A lot of people I speak to when they go into these high-level camps, they say it's not so much what they do in the ring that I learn most from. It's out the ring, watching how they construct their camp, how they treat their staff. For all three of you, is that what you found when you've been in and amongst these guys?
No, you see my man here. He's been to whose camp? Everybody's camp. Yeah, mark my words. Listen to this. He's been to everybody's camp. Yeah, and the last camp he did was my camp. Yeah. What does he do afterwards? He goes back to Dubai or to Croatia. He phones back, he goes, listen, I've been in all the camps, and the way you guys train, nobody trains like that. I want to come back. Because we train. There's no off days in my camp. You don't understand. If I'm sick, I won't go out. I won't go to training. I won't go in and say, oh, I don't really feel well. They'll tell me, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
That is it. There's no, we're going to take it easy today. For me, it's about numbers. So when he came and he saw the way we were training and the way he felt good afterwards when he was walking around in Mayfair, wherever he was walking, he felt good because, you know what, I'm training properly now. This is the right thing I needed to do. There's no easy days for me. This is what I was saying to Johnny. You want to learn how to train? Come see me. But at the same time, I went through that. I thought I used to train before, but no, not anymore. And I always, every time I see David Hay, I always give him a hug and say thank you. Because David Hay showed me the way of training. It's just one of those things, you know, I always say to my nephew, anybody, you're like, you train hard. Yeah. This is why Usyk is so good. Because Usyk trains hard. You know, I bumped into him the first AJ fight. Yeah?
Is that a sauna again?
Yeah, I saw swimming. Yeah. I walked in there and then it's my guy who owns the place. Goes, oh, Usyk's up there. Let me see if he's going up there. Usyk came downstairs, started talking. He goes, oh, I arrived earlier on, but I've been swimming. Been swimming. And the guy goes, yeah, he's been swimming for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
Non-stop.
Yeah. Holds his breath on the water as well, doesn't he? When he's
I mean, like, do you understand? Olympic pool, swimming pool. He's going up and down, 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 up and down. Non-stop. Yeah, because in Ukraine, they'll go in one of these big rivers, they go in Ukraine, and they will just swim to the end and back.
What Rocky Marciano used to do that as well.
Yeah.
He used to swim across a lake and back before he started any training.
Yeah.
And just following on from what Derek said, I'm learning it as I go.
You're in the River Thames.
Not the River Thames, yeah. You know, I come out, I look all green coming out of there. But like, I'm learning it as I go. Like, I thought being more technical, doing technical things and nicking a rest here or doing this, I thought that was, I'm doing things to become a more mature boxer, but you can't lose what you are, which is a fighter, and enhance what you've got, which is me being ferocious, being aggressive. But to be ferocious, aggressive and explosive, you need to have the fitness to back it up. And I probably strayed too far away from that. And now that's why it's good that Derek's invited me in and stuff like that. I can get a little bit of know-how and learn from people who've been there and done it.
You're gonna die.
Yeah. At least I know it. At least I know it. You know?
You're gonna die, but in the fight you're gonna feel
Yeah. You feel good after.
Fellas, let me take you back to the first fight in Poland. When the low blow happened, what was all three of yours personal opinions of that punch, where it landed? Was he just being very clever? Was it a low blow?
It was a low blow.
Low blow.
Yeah, because if you hit here, that's not a low blow. But if you start from the bottom, coming up, yeah, and then you catch the protector and you go through the protector and you hit the body, that's a low blow, you know, because Daniel's punch came from down, yeah, got him on his protector, protector pushed his manhood up, and then that's it.
I can't believe you were so polite to use that term, manhood. I thought I was thinking, oh my God, what's he going to say?
I don't want to get beep. You know, it was a low blow. But this is the best thing about boxing. That was a low blow.
Yeah.
Fight was not cancelled. They got to fight, and he got knocked out. So now he's got the second time now to make it right. To show people, you know what, you call it a low blow, I'm gonna knock this guy out. Yeah. So now Daniel has to prove us wrong that from the beginning, he was the right man to win the fight.
Johnny, what was your opinion, having watched it at the time and looking back now?
By the letter of the law, below the navel, it's a low blow, but that doesn't mean I've not seen hundreds of them shots not been pulled up before. I think there was a fight with Jared Anderson later that evening, and there were shots going as low as that, or if not lower, so.
It looked like a low blow for the referee because he threw the
from
punch
below
from
and up,
below,
yeah.
and the short go up. So the shorts went up, so it looks like a low blow.
That's all irrelevant, I think, because now it's the new fight, Usyk Dubois 2. It starts again, it's another fresh 12 rounds. So whatever's been and whatever's gone, there's a controversy over the low blow, yes, but Dubois got beat in the end. Now he's got to just put all that behind him. He can look at it how he wants, but it's a new fight now, so he's got to go for it.
If we take the low blow sort of out of it, we saw Usyk hurt with body shots in the amateurs by Beterbiev. We saw Tyson have great success against him in the first fight with body shots. It's too simple to say, go in and target this guy's body. But Derek, having done rounds with him, having won, for me, easily the first 6, is targeting his body plan A for anyone?
I don't know. My plan was just see anyway. That was my plan. I wasn't gonna go in and try and box a gold medalist in a undisputed cruiserweight. Do you understand? So I was like, you know what? Didn't have a game plan at all. Do you understand? Didn't have a game plan. The game plan was, how far can we last? And then suddenly we realized, oh, round 6 we're still winning, and all I needed to do was win. I wanted to win 8 rounds. Yeah, and I won as you say, I won 6 rounds. Yeah, even his coaches and his managers came to my room and goes, we thought you won the fight, you know, because we were just going, and then he hit me with a beautiful body shot, I remember, and then I was like, you want
Were you surprised that watching, especially AJ in the first fight, not so much in the second fight, but even so Tyson in his 2 fights try and outbox him when you had clearly had so much success in cutting the ring off and putting it on him?
But that's what I try to tell you. They were trying to outbox him because they were not fit enough. Don't you understand? You can only do certain things when you're fit. Yeah? They could not, listen, if Tyson and AJ were fit enough, they'd have gone in there and roll over this guy. But what they did was save their energy, didn't want to get embarrassed. So as a fighter, you will come to a point when you are in round, let's say, 7, and then you know you're getting tired. Now you're not fighting to win anymore. You're fighting to survive the round so you don't get knocked out and embarrass yourself. You understand? So, you know, if AJ went in there in the first round, in the first fight, and he just beat his gum shield and then let his hands go, you'd have had him out. In the second fight, you'd have had him out. You know, Tyson, the same thing.
Do you think Daniel was capable of biting down on the gum shield and doing what you've just said?
Yeah, if you don't train like that, you can never be like that.
Well, it's interesting you say he's now under the guidance of Don Charles, who you know more than anyone. So how do you think they will be preparing him? All the captains.
I don't know. I don't want to say something wrong and upset people, but that I don't know.
It's not like you.
Have you been impressed by Daniel's transformation under Don?
Oh yeah, you know it's Don and the other guy. What's the other guy's name?
Kieran.
Ian Dewberry, Kieran Farrell.
Yeah, all those guys. Do you understand? So listen, so far so good. Do you understand? He boxed Baby Miller, you know, Hrgović, you know,
Joshua.
Joshua, you know,
I mean, that people don't move like Usyk. That's the difference.
they don't move like
don't
Usyk. Yeah, 100%.
With Usyk, we also know that he loves judo. Like I know his sons and his daughters are judo practitioners now. We see the footwork, we see the southpaw, the up and down. Do you think when he's close and working, do you think that's a bit of a judo MMA element to him?
It's a knowledge of wrestling, yeah. You saw it with Tyson Fury, with Derek also, and Derek is a strong man who can also wrestle good, but the way he do it is very smart, and it's trained. It doesn't come from nowhere, so it helps him a lot, yeah.
Well, you know him quite personally now. You have a chat on the phone. You go to the sauna together. What's he like?
Listen, let's be honest. The Europeans are different from us English. You know, we are mama's boy. Those guys are real man. Let's just be honest. I think he loves his wife, loves his kids. You know, he loves his friends.
Yeah, religious guy.
Religious
Man of
guy.
God, yeah.
Yeah, man of God. Is do you know when someone's just got it all perfect?
Yeah.
He's got it all perfect. Let's be honest. You know.
And I sort of like, I'm looking back and thinking back to the fights that Usyk's had, and we're like, oh yeah, he won't get through this guy, he won't get through that guy. But he sort of not proved people wrong, because some people would side with him, but he's got rid of everyone that's been asked, especially over here in England.
About to do the double.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can't argue with that.
It does certainly seem that in the build-up to this fight, mainly fueled by the low blow, there is a little bit more needle between the pair. I mean, their camps were having a go at each other when they were here. Have you sensed that this has brought something a little bit different out of Usyk and Dubois, the needle between them?
Yeah, but you have to understand, his team don't really speak good English. So you can say everything you want, but them is just like, whatever, we'll see you on a fight day, you know. But Usyk understands English, but he likes to play dumb.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed with Daniel, and this is a strange thing to suggest is beneficial, because when we see fighters suddenly buy flashy cars or jewellery, it's usually like a red flag. Oh, we're worried what they're doing. But I saw Daniel recently pass his driving test. He's got a lovely little Porsche that he's proud of. He's being a bit more cheeky. Like, Daniel was homeschooled, like a lot of his brothers and sisters, so he probably doesn't have that outgoing nature that you learn at school. Are we seeing the sort of evolvement and just the maturity of a fella who's confident and got a bit about himself now, do you think, John?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's doing him good. I think it's good that, as I said earlier, he's expressing himself a bit more, and I think that will come out in his boxing as well. As you said, he's probably had a bit more of a sheltered lifestyle than other people who've been to school, who've been in the education system, because that toughens you in ways as well.
Yeah.
Being around your mates and people at school, but he's probably come into it a little bit later. But I think that's only going to help him express himself in the boxing ring. And why not? He's been in some great fights. Treat yourself to a little Porsche. I'm sure he can do more than that. But yeah, if that's what he fancies he wants to do, he's earned the right.
One thing we can't avoid with Daniel, he surrendered he took a knee in the Joe Joyce fight because Joe's jab was excellent. I hate it when boxers call other boxers quitters, but some fighters have said that of Daniel. And one horrible thing that some boxers say is, once you quit once, you can quit again. But if you guys were going to fight Daniel next week instead of Oleksandr Usyk, would you see that as a mental chink in his armour?
I would never, ever dream of calling another fighter a quitter, especially someone of Daniel who's fought at a level above me. I've never had my eyeball rolling about in my socket like he had. And I just don't think it's honourable for anyone to call a man like that who goes in the ring and fights other men who are 18, 19 stone. You're not a quitter.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And yeah.
Derek, well, let me just ask you that. He did have to take a knee in 2 fights.
Hey, listen, there's some quitters and some are not. You know, the first fight when Joe Joyce in lockdown, when he quit, I believe he was still a young man. He didn't understand the threshold of pain. You know, he thought he was going blind. So what's the best way to come out of it? You took a knee. That's, the pain. Pain is very painful. Yeah. And then on the other fight, you just, it was a 4-minute break, but for him to to repose himself and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. Because I was there sitting next to Frank Warren. You know, you was supposed to, okay, cool, I'm gonna just go for it. I think it is like that deflated him basically. It just took all his energy out. You know, didn't know what to do. You know, so I just believe that he just go cool. He didn't quit that time. You know, if he was more advanced, he was still a young pup at the time as well. So if he was more advanced, he'd put his hands up and just try and figure it out himself before he went for another attack. You know, I don't believe in boxing there's quitters. I don't believe so.
No.
I just believe that when it's your time, it's your time.
Speaking of sitting next to Frank Warren, we did the other day. If you fellas would like to take a look at this.
Igis, who is the manager of Usyk, he said at the press conference, he was asked a question about the fight and about the previous fight I had in this one. He said, in the last fight we fought Daniel Dubois. In this fight we're fighting Daniel the man. And I think that is a real astute observation from Igis, who's a very good manager. And they know they're going to have their hands full. But, you know, Usyk, road warrior, won the Olympic gold medal, unified the cruiserweight division, came up, unified the heavyweight division, been on the road for every fight. How many fights he had in our hometown? He's not fazed by anything. Gone in everybody's backyard. He's beaten, what, 5 or 6 Brits now? You know, debatable on one. I'm not going to go into that, but debatable on the ones with Tyson. But anyway, irrespective of that, he's confident, and that's why he's coming in. They believe they can win this. He believes genuinely that he will beat Daniel Dubois, and Daniel Dubois is confident and believes he will knock him out.
So Frank talks there about how Daniel's gone from Daniel the boy to Daniel the man. Those tough fights against Filip Hrgović and Jarrell Miller, how important were getting through those to getting to the point where he is now, what Frank says, the man we see today?
Hey, listen, I think Daniel is winning all his fights because he's getting laid now, let's be honest.
I thought they said women weak legs. I thought that was the classic.
His legs are getting stronger, so I think he's getting laid now, so it's all right. Because the other day, I think on his Instagram, he announced that he's going to be a father.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be a dad.
I think you're breaking some news here, Derek.
Yeah, he's been hacked.
Trust me, he's going to be a dad soon. So maybe he already is. So yeah, man, listen. He's a man now. You know, he was a boy before. He's a man. So he knows what he wants to do. He's fighting for his family. And I come back to get the question you said, when your dad is in the corner, your dad is there with you every day and stuff like that. It's amazing. And it's a good thing for him, And now he has to do it in front of 80,000, So let's see what happens.
Another thing with we've been so used to AJ coming out to these, big crowds, and he had done it so many times, and people were wondering whether it would actually get to Daniel. But Daniel was the one who came out like the seasoned veteran. He came to the ring, struck the ring, he looked great. So do you think having that fight, coming off the back of that, is a massive importance to going into this one? The fact that he's been in front of that big Wembley Stadium before?
I also think Daniel's the sort of character he wouldn't care if he's fighting outside the Wetherspoons or in front of Wembley.
Yeah.
It's a fight.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of boxers like that. I think Usyk's the same sort of mentality. But yeah, when I was watching Daniel walk to the ring for the Joshua fight, he was not fazed one bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like it won't matter that he's fighting for the undisputed now. It's just another fight to him.
Do you think Daniel's last round, that ninth, I think it was the ninth, where he he sat on his knee and didn't beat the count? Do you think that will stick in his mind as the first bell goes, or do you think he'll think about the other fights that he's won and that will be what pushes him through?
I think so. I think, talking from my own experience, you can overanalyse from the first fight sometimes, but it might be where I'm a bit too. Your brain can sometimes, if you've got a good brain, it can also be a detriment because you think about things too much. Yeah. I feel like Daniel's strength is sometimes. He's instinctive, and I've got that in me as well, but I feel like Daniel won't think about the first fight too much. He won't think about the other fights, the Hrgović fight, the Joshua fight and the Miller fight. He'll do what he's got to do on the day, and I think that instinctive nature as a boxer, as a fighter, is a powerful thing.
Is it vitally important Daniel starts the first round of this fight like he started against AJ, on the front foot, pumping the jab out straight away and not letting Usyk
aggressive, yeah, because if you survive from Joshua punches and from Hrgović can punch.
They hit him a lot.
Hrgović can punch.
He knows. So if you survive something like that and you're still going forward, you can do it with Usyk.
That's an interesting point, actually, Agron. While we're on the topic of power, I mean, Johnny just said how powerful Daniel is. You, again, have been in there with the best, Joshua, Fury, Wilder.
Garcia, Derek. He almost broke my neck, with the right hand over.
How does Daniel
almost
compare?
broke my neck, so he hits hard. Wilder hits hard. Wilder hits you like a
Lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's something.
So it's different power.
Yeah, it's different power.
But how does Daniel's power compare to like a Wilder or a
Amazing
Joshua?
power. Both hands are amazing. Joshua have an amazing right hand. Murat Gassiev, he's a small guy. He's a cruiserweight fighter. He fought also Usyk. Amazing punch. I got a punch. It's like I don't know. It's hard to explain.
And I think Usyk can punch it. Anyone over that sort of heavyweight limit is.
It's incredible he gets called small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only in boxing,
He's
he's
not a small man.
6'3"
He's a big
and
man.
16 stone. He's small.
But he's. I feel like Dubois has got to close that distance, because when you're closing the distance of someone's punches, they're not at their full power. If he gives him the space to release and be at his peak connection point,
exactly.
you're better off to close the gap as much as you can.
Daniel have a good in distance. He have a huge power, but also in fight. Yeah,
he's good.
In close
and
fight.
people underestimate how good Daniel is at them few inches in and out of range. Yeah. He's very good. If you jump in against him, he does step back quite nicely a few inches. It's basic but effective, especially as heavyweights. I think you don't have to make it too complicated, you know? Yeah.
Derek, with all the technicalities, excellent insight from these two guys, you have said you have to be more crazy. If you weren't crazy enough and Tyson over 2 fights wasn't crazy enough, can Daniel be?
We'll find out. You understand? I mean, like, Usyk has got 2 things which will benefit him more. He's a southpaw and his feet. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So if you don't knock him out or slow him down, you're in trouble. Daniel's going to try and go for the body, and Usyk knows that. Mm-hmm. And what Usyk's job will be now is the first 3-4 rounds, he's going to box and move. And Daniel has to keep up with him. You know, southpaw, trying to keep that distance the right way. Because every time you come in his southpaw range, he's going to get hit. So, don't know what Don will be saying to him, but so far, so good.
Some of those great fighters, for some reason, especially southpaws like Loma, like Usyk, like sometimes Terence Crawford, I'm not going to say they give away rounds, because you and Tony Bellew, you won those rounds. But do you think there is a little period, Johnny, where those sort of elite guys just take some time to figure their opponent out?
They calibrate and they
download the data.
They download the data, and you see that with the more cerebral guys. Mm-hmm. They look at certain movement patterns in the person. They've probably watched a lot of footage as well, but then obviously you need to evaluate on the night as well. It might take 2-3 rounds to work out how someone's feinting, what position around the ring they're moving. They're moving to their right, the left, are they moving back? All these little things. And them cerebral guys like an Usyk, a Crawford, even Canelo, Canelo I've seen lose 3 or 4 or 5 rounds at the beginning. You think to the Billy Joe fight, you think to the Caleb Plant fight. Yeah. They're calibrating all the time, and it's an eventuality that they'll come and stalk you down.
Southpaws are rare, but in the heavyweight division, super rare. That's why you get so much good sparring.
Exactly.
Casual boxing fans might not understand the difference, but if you spent most of your life boxing against a guy like this, and then suddenly you're boxing a guy like this, you must see how... when you go against good guys, you must notice, man, they can't work me out.
Yeah. I mean, it's also difficult for us to fight against southpaw.
Yeah.
So I did also with Moses, and it's totally different game. Mm. It's like you're doing some new sport. So that's what I'm worried about Daniel. We did only 8 rounds, 2 times sparring, and before me he did also a couple of rounds. I don't know, is that enough for a big fight like that? Okay. Because with Derek we did a lot of rounds.
For the Otto Wallin fight?
For the Otto Wallin.
Yeah.
And when you did the fight,
Yeah.
You didn't feel him.
But you've always been good
destroyed
with
him.
southpaws.
Yeah.
You've always beat up southpaws easy.
He doesn't choose. Yeah, he fights.
But Agron, but because of that, because you know how hard it is for guys to prepare for a southpaw, Daniel only did 16 rounds with you. Is that why you fancy Usyk?
Yeah, I must say because he didn't do enough rounds, and when I said, okay, we don't need to do a hard sparring, we can do maybe technical. I can work with you. You know,
Yeah.
I do the jab, you can react with the right hand, just to know what's gonna happen in the fight. They didn't want to do that. Even they say no more sparring. We don't need. It's too aggressive. It's too risky for us. We don't want to have a sparring again. I said I can come just to practice with him. You know,
Yeah.
and they thought I need to be paid, so they said no, you don't need it.
Johnny, hearing that, does that make you think that Usyk's got more of a chance? Because I think you've been in the Dubois camp so far.
A little bit, but then also I think about what Derek just said about when he went and fought Usyk. You went and to try and hit him anywhere and to fight him. And does that mean that you were not thinking so much tactically about fighting a southpaw? You was just thinking about turning it into a fight as much as you can. So you're not too much bothered about where the backhand's going to come from, the position of the feet. You're just trying to rough him up as much as you can and make it not a battle about southpaw versus orthodox, but make it about you having a fight.
But for that, you need more rounds.
It's true.
I think, you know,
It's true.
You need
High quality
rounds.
sparring. I've
Exactly.
noticed myself when I've gone into different camps, you do come back improved. I've sparred Michael Hunter, and it's just it's another level when you spar people the higher level
You
in
can do the
yourself.
pad works and the bag and everything, but it's not similar to the fight.
Yeah, it's true. The high level sparring
Yeah.
is really important for the development of a fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derek will know more because he's gone and fought Usyk, you know. And how you prepared? What would you?
Listen, I remember when we were preparing for Usyk.
Yeah.
So I think they put a thing out on Instagram where the idea for me was to just be fair.
Yeah.
We were sparring orthodox, southpaw. It don't matter. It was as long we get to the 12 rounds we wanted to get to. That was it.
Exactly.
You know, there was no point of like, oh, we need a southpaw. He's not a southpaw. We don't need him. Oh, we had big guys come in the gym trying to take my head off. Yeah. You know, we had smaller guys. You know, because the idea is you have to learn for that southpaw jab. You have to understand it. If you don't understand it, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I
There's a
asked
place
if you
for
can
it.
train
Yeah, you need to understand it because you have to understand where you have to be, where you don't have to be, and what shot to chuck at the same time.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand it, you're just gonna get beaten up all night
So you
long.
need the understanding married with the conditioning and hard rounds or sparring as well.
Let me play devil's advocate and say Daniel wins but carries an injury. And the IBF say Anthony Joshua's been a two-time champion of ours. We love Anthony. We want him to fight for the vacant IBF. And Derek, you are mandatory. I know you've been like a big brother and a mentor, but for your 50th fight, for a world title, could you and AJ dance?
That, I don't know. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No. Listen, AJ's my guy. You know, depends. We'll see. But right now, we don't want to see AJ fight anybody else apart from Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tyson Fury is trying to wiggle himself while I say he wants to fight Alexander on this day, you know. But we don't want to see that. We want to see Tyson versus AJ.
And people up and down the country want to see that, not just boxing
Yeah,
fans.
do you understand?
And it'll be a two-fight deal, won't it?
Yeah, but we don't want to, you know, take out Sheikh said he wants to pull. I see BT have announced there saying Tyson and Alexander on this day. But to be honest, we don't want to see that. We want to see Tyson and AJ.
Well, fellas, let's cool down now with your straightforward predictions. Agron, been in the Dubois camp, sparred all of Usyk's opponents. You know what it's like being a heavyweight and a southpaw. How does this fight go?
Everything is possible in boxing. Yeah, that's first what I can say. We saw it with Wally. What's the name?
Fabio Wardley.
Fabio
Yes,
Wally,
yeah.
Losing the fight all the time and just one punch.
Yeah, Justice Huni.
And he doesn't punch even close like Daniel. So yeah, everything can happen, but I go more for Usyk, to be honest, because of all of this experience I had. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think he can stop him, or just another masterclass of
Outboxing.
boxing?
Yeah.
Nah, that count on Fabio Wally fight was a bit of a dodgy count. Man. Let's be honest about that.
You were just listen. That
count was a bit of a dodgy fight, you know.
Go on, then, Delbo. Give me your prediction, please.
Boxing.
Usyk will outboxing.
Not boxing. Nah, you know what? Safe money is on Usyk.
Yeah.
You know, safe money. If you were gonna put your house on it, you know, if I was gonna put my house on it, you know, I would have saved money on Usyk.
Which one of your houses though? Because you've got about 15 now, haven't you?
No. But I don't know. We'll see.
Johnny, again, I've been hearing you say that you fancy the Dubois chain, and as a proud Englishman, it would be magnificent for all of us if we can see the torch passed from AJ and Fury sharing it to this man.
Listen, as Derek said, the safe money's on Usyk, but I can really see Dubois doing it in 6 rounds as well. Brilliant. And if I was going to put money on it, if I had a spare 20 quid to go down the bookies, I'd put 20 quid on Dubois in 6. On it. I'd put a Chinese on it, or I'd put the bet on and I'd go down to the Chinese while the fight's going off because I'd be too nervous to watch it and then come back.
Right then, that is the final bell on Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois 2. No glove lost in partnership with 32 Red. Massive thanks to Jack and our heavyweight corner team of Derek Chisora, Agron Smakici and Johnny Fisher. The rematch is nearly here. Will Dubois shake up the world, or will Oleksandr Usyk do what Oleksandr Usyk does? We will love finding out.